Final checks for the referee. And a proper test this for Leicester City. For the first time in 12 weeks, we have football at the King Power Stadium, and an early touch and an early canter forward for Ricardo. Now Duvan Zapata gets involved. I think this week with a huge money move to Inter. He's going to need some watching, and Jerry Taggart, this is going to be a real test, isn't it, for Leicester?
Yeah, already you can see there's more feel about it. You know, the atmosphere is a lot bigger, a lot better than it has been over pre-season. So the players will take that on board and use this game, you know, obviously working towards next Sunday. But, and as you say, it's pre-season, but obviously playing a team like Atalanta, a team that, let's be honest, we don't really know that much about. But the fact that they finished third in Italy, qualified for Champions League, means that they will hold this team in high regard.
First time they're playing the Champions League or the European Cup, that competition in their 111-year history. Atalanta were the top goal scorers in Serie A last season. More than Napoli, more than Cristiano Ronaldo and Juventus. So a test for Soyuncu. And the first test is to foul Josip Ilicic.
Yeah, and what will be interesting tonight is to see how Atalanta's set up. You know, you may see, you know, a team go out and play their style of football is totally different to what we're used to seeing in this country. So it'll be interesting to see how they go about it.
That one won't go through to Zapata. Johnny Evans shovels it back to Kasper Schmeichel. They play on the front foot, Atalanta. They like to attack. Should be an entertaining one to watch as Jamie Vardy and Jose Perez, who have looked good in pre-season together and individually. Have a chance to see that burgeoning reputation. Exactly where Perez is going to play for Leicester over the course of the next 9 months is going to be really interesting. Looks like he's on the right side tonight of the three behind Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, I think, you know, if you listen to Brendan talk, he pays a lot of emphasis to his wide players, and so yes, they're more like wide forwards himself, Jose Perez and Albrighton, and so, but they're going to have to play a crucial part in, you know, trying to get goals on the score and get themselves on the score sheet.
Ricardo, brilliant, and here is Perez. His first attempt, if you like, in a Leicester shirt. Had a great record here in the Newcastle one, and that right-hand side from Leicester looks razor sharp already inside 3 minutes.
Yeah, yet again, Ricardo, great play down the right-hand side, and they're the sort of runs that Jose Perez are going inside the box, not in wide areas, getting himself inside the box to get either a shot or a cross-off.
First corner. James Madison's going to take it. Right in front of, I reckon, about 100 Atalanta supporters. Madison delivers. It's typically dangerous. Zapata did well to head it away. Chowdhury in a battle with Josip Ilicic, the Slovenian playmaker. He's a very good player. In the end, it was James Madison who doubled up and fouled him. Atalanta a couple of weeks behind Leicester in terms of their preparations. Serie A doesn't begin until much later this month. Ilicic is stopped by Ricardo. Mark Albrighton, who scored that exceptional goal, possibly the goal of pre-season so far at Stoke on Saturday. Ricardo made it. Perez. Tielemans. Cut out by some decent defending by Andrea Masiello. Now, Leicester has settled pretty well 4 minutes in.
Yeah, I think so. You know, we're just starting to see a couple of passing combinations come together, which will settle the players for sure. Yet again, you know, you got Tielemans, Perez, Ricardo, all interlinking with each other, which is really good to see.
Here goes Ricardo again. How long have we played? 4.5 minutes. He's had about 4 or 5 attacking surges down this near side, and Tielemans is bumped into. Malinowski it was. Shoulder barge. It's a really nice evening for football. It's the type of evening that when it's freezing cold in February, we'll forget ever happened. A really good crowd in as well. I think as soon as the pre-season fixtures were announced, this being the only home game and against top quality opposition, is the one that everyone was looking forward to. Tielemans again. This time it's Mark Albrighton who makes the move. Back to Ricardo. Now Perez. Game being played almost exclusively in the Atalanta half right now. Albrighton. Chance maybe to swing one of those trademark crosses in. Chilwell keeps it in play. Really good pressure this from Leicester. Now Maddison. Maddison delivers towards Jamie Vardy. This time it was Jim Citi who gets it away. Now Atalanta can break forward for the first time. Ilicic. Malinovsky comes through to Zapata. Ilicic heads it back to Martin de Roon, who of course played for Middlesbrough. Vastly improved player now. Just the first attack for Atalanta, came out of nothing really.
Yeah, tried to play the quick counter-attack, then they slowed it up. Thankfully, you know, they got the block on the shot from Zapata. But Atalanta just grown into this game themselves.
Nice combination themselves on the right-hand side, and Johnny Evans steps in to head away.
I think that's the problem. When you don't win that first ball, when the ball came out, I think it was Soyuncu went in the challenge and he didn't win that first ball. And that just put Atalanta on the front foot. So it's so important, even though it's early on, you have to win those first contacts. Tielemans
did just that, and then just effortlessly glides beyond the player. Doesn't come to anything, but it's a joy to watch. But here come Atalanta once more. Gossen's in a good position. Johnny Evans it was who stepped in to win it and now leads the charge. Tielemans. Maddison loses out now. Ilicic thought it was going to be open and attacking, and it certainly is. Zapata. Chowdhury in the nick of time. I think he read that pretty well and wins the ball.
Well, Soyuncu can thank Chowdhury there. Great positioning from Hamza Chowdhury. You know, as that ball's being played through, how often do you see a midfielder, a defensive midfielder, so close to his back four and protecting him? Fantastic defending from young Hamza Chowdhury.
Well, speaking off air, Wilfred Ndidi is now back at the club after his exploits at the Africa Cup of Nations. Hamza Chowdhury may well have played himself into a starting berth that we won't know until an hour before kick-off against Wolves.
Yeah,
but
you have to say, you know, Hamza's done nothing wrong, and obviously Wilfred's been away. He's not taking part in any of the games, so you know he's got the head start as regards to working with his team and knowing how Brendan wants to play his football. So you can't see any other decision being made than Hamza starting, but obviously it could be totally wrong. But for me, you know, he's done nothing wrong, and yet again proved what a valuable asset he is.
Offside flag just up there. Wilfred Ndidi and Islam Slimani, the two Foxes who were away at that competition, which is now played in the summer. It used to be in the middle of the season, which caused everybody a headache in the Premier League. It's a massive competition, though.
Well, I think all over Europe, wasn't it? Well, all the top players obviously played in Europe, and I think it was a massive headache for every club.
And now, I remember when they announced the change, everyone was happy, and then Ndidi arrives back a couple of months later than everybody anyway. But he'll be buoyed by his run to the semi-final. Slimani part of the winning Algeria team. Premier League does start earlier than a lot of the other major European leagues, including Serie A. Expect Atalanta to field 2 11s potentially. Attacking with a tent here, then Chilwell steps in, and here is Ilicic. He does have a very good left foot. Here's the crossbar, but that was a dangerous moment.
Again, good play. It's all quick, one-touch play. You can see that Atalanta, when they get the ball and they're driving forward, it's all done very, very quickly. And again, You know, it's a loose pass this time from Hamza, sorry. Thankfully, Leicester get away with it.
Well, last season, 77 goals in 38 games. And only Duvan Zapata scored plenty, so they are a team who like to have 5 or 6 different players who chip in with 10 or so goals a season.
I think that's the way you see in the modern game going, where they don't want 1, 2 or 3, they want 4, 5, 6 players. Now, obviously, you're talking about defenders from set pieces, but I'm on about an open play. Even full-backs getting up and chipping in with between 3 and 5 goals apiece.
A lovely touch from Albrighton. Is Jamie Vardy onside here? No, he's not. And the King Power Stadium expected there.
Yeah, very, very tight decision that. Probably just delayed it slightly, Mark Albrighton, that pass.
I think Vardy had already made his move, hadn't he? Here is Zapata. It's actually on loan, a 2-year loan from Sampdoria, although there's the option to buy. Sampdoria a bit upset probably that they let him go, given how many goals that he scored last season.
He's a big physical presence, isn't he? So normally when you're that big and strong, that sort of build, you're not expecting him to have a good touch or a good, good finishing prowess, but obviously his stats back all that up.
Luis Muriel, who was signed in the summer as well to aid the attacking position, as crosses fired in towards the far post, and Chilwell does very, very well, and Perez can come away.
Oh, spectacular defending from Ben Chilwell. Don't know who it was who was flying in at the back post, but you have to say, fantastic covering defending from Ben Chilwell, and what a header as well to get it clear from the danger. Not only does he get it clear, that could have quite easily went out for a corner. No, fantastic clearing header from Chilwell.
Here is Maddison. And Tielemans, clever pass to Albrighton, and a very good challenge there by Hans Hateboer. It's a good game this, it's being played at a real pace. We're only 12 minutes in, but it's exactly what Leicester will have wanted in their final pre-season match. Evans. Vardy. Ball lands at the feet of Malinovsky. Atalanta really hitting their straps now. It's a lovely ball out to Gossens. Zapata. Johnny Evans there once more. Perez will look to break forward. Atalanta play it back to Pierluigi Golini. Can't miss him with that kit. Masiello. Evans is sticking with Zapata almost everywhere he goes right now. Now Ricardo. Soyuncu. The goalkeeper's had to make a save yet, but been plenty of good attacking moments on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. The build-up play from both teams has been very good. Impressed with Atalanta, the quick style of their play. A lot of one-touch stuff when they're moving the ball forward. And again, Leicester, some nice little interchanges of passing, getting themselves in the good areas of the pitch, good opportunities to put the ball into the box. So this game's shaping up nicely.
Golini fires it out to Gossens. It's all about different tactical tests in pre-season as well. Leicester have dominated the ball in almost all their games. Maybe tonight they might just have to soak up a bit of pressure and play on the counter-attack.
Again, this is what it's all about. It's a learning curve, especially for the younger players, how to deal with teams that come and try and dominate the ball. Obviously Brendan Rodgers is a manager who wants to try and dominate the ball as well, but you can't always do that, as we know.
Yeah.
So then it's down to how do you go as a collective and close the opposition down. And in what areas do you do that to give yourself the best chance of winning the ball back quickly? So coming up against a team like Atalanta, great experience.
Ricardo. Perez is the option in the end. Chowdhury. Chilwell, just a slightly heavy touch, and onto it in a second was Castagna. He's been linked with a move to the Premier League. The fact that Atalanta are in the Champions League means that they are in a pretty strong position to turn down any bids for their players.
What I have noticed at the minute, Chris, is that Atalanta are winning all those first contacts at the minute. So every time there's a 50-50 ball there to be challenged for, they're coming off best, and that's something that, you know, obviously Brendan will have to look at the longer it goes on.
Zapata gets his pass away. Ricardo's so quick over that first couple of yards, snuffs out the danger. They're a big side, Atalanta, aren't they? And Leicester, if we just go on height anyway, aren't necessarily, well, this 11 isn't necessarily.
No, absolutely, and again, what we're seeing from Atalanta is some no-nonsense defending at the back, where they're willing to clear their lines if they have to, and then start again, as you say. Physically, a lot bigger than Leicester.
Ricardo, who saw so much of the ball in the attacking third in the opening 5 minutes. Now Perez. Up against 3 on that occasion. He turned around as if to ask where his options were. Soyuncu, clever ball, now all Brighton. Looks for the run of Vardy. Hasn't had too much to feed off yet, Jamie Vardy. Some decisive passing back to Jim City on that occasion. Now Hattabor. Soyuncu. Here's Ricardo. Perez is on the move. The referee lets the game go on. Jose Perez doesn't agree, I think it's fair to say. Quality of Atalanta's passing is spot on. They lost against Swansea. And they beat Norwich, and they've started very well here. Good opportunity, heavy touch, and Johnny Evans steps in. Josip Ilicic, I think, will be disappointed. Tielemans keeps hold of the ball so well. No way out at the moment. And throwing at the end of a very promising move from Atalanta.
Yeah, it was a half a chance, wasn't it, really? I think big Zapata got in his way here. His first touch is a little heavy. Zapata tries to get out of the way. Maybe could have swung and turned and had a shot himself, but he left it. And in the end, Johnny Evans gets across and clears the danger.
Chowdhury put his head where it hurts, potentially. And Gossens secured their top 4 finish on the final day. So they now went right down to the wire. Atalanta and Inter eventually put their places in the Champions League. One of these success stories anywhere in Europe. Led by this man's goals, Zapata. Gossens again. Zapata. Gossens fires wide. Another warning shot though. Atalanta on top.
Yeah, it's good build-up play again. Zapata out here to Gossens, and then he goes for the return pass. But he doesn't stand all. It's a good lesson for any forward-thinking players is don't stand and watch your pass. Go and follow it. See if you can get on the end of it. See if you can get it back. And that's exactly what Gosens does. Gets it back from Zapata. Yet again, gets a shot off, but thankfully goes harmlessly wide.
Scoop forward. Sorrentry lets it bounce. Duvan Zapata was lurking ominously. Here goes Ricardo. Maciello. Very good defending, and then a fantastic pass to Ilicic. He's mostly left-footed. Had that been on his left foot, I think he might have gone for goal. Here's Perez. Atalanta again. Winning the ball, but Perez picks the pocket of Malinowski. Now Tielemans. Straight into Galini's arms, but better that from Leicester City, at least testing the goalkeeper.
Yeah, initially from Perez, as you said, just stepping in, nicking the ball and setting Tielemans away. Tielemans does really well, and you're expecting Jamie Vardy to make that near post run across the 6-yard box. As you say, confident goalkeeping from Galini.
Now Frula. Coming again on that far side, Atalanta. Worked it nicely on their right-hand side on a number of occasions. Good test for Chilwell and co over there. Ilicic feeds it through to Zapata, who shoves Johnny Evans over illegally. Kasper Schmeichel made the save anyway. Referee's whistle stopped Atalanta in their tracks.
It's a lovely pass through, but Johnny Evans, he's in a great position there. You know, reads what's happening, gets himself across in a good position, as you say. Zapata, little hand on the back, thank you very much. But again, a good move from Atalanta. You know, both sides, both the fullbacks getting right up high in support and causing Leicester City a few problems.
Albrighton steps in. Now Suanchu. If you were watching with us the game at Stoke, Leicester got better and better as the match went on. There's Kasper Schmeichel. The goals came late against Cambridge as well. Premier League opener next weekend. Sorrentry stepped out and got something on the ball. Here comes Malinowski. Well played by Yuri Tielemans. Does it without fuss, but it's mighty effective. Perez, looked like he got the ball fair and square, but the referee deemed otherwise.
It just seemed a little bit harsh, that, as you say. He's just nicked the ball. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just I suppose you could call it a typical reaction from an Italian side. But for me, that's a fair challenge.
He's puffing. It's a warm night. Third game in 6 days as well for Atalanta. Trained at the training ground earlier today. Ilicic. It's a good ball, and here is Gosens once again. Kasper Schmeichel beats it away. His first real test of the evening. Passed with flying colours.
That's a good shot from Gosens. He's been flying forward since this game started. And he always seems to be the extra man, Gosens, on this side. It always seems to be he's the man that's got all the space and time. It's a good stop. Just see it here.
Ilicic again. He spreads it out.
And they're not afraid of shooting, are they? That's the thing. Decent technique. Just probably gets underneath the ball slightly. His first touch lets him down slightly. But again, warning signs for Leicester. The left-hand side of Atalanta, lots of time and space out here. Again, that's something that Brendan will be vigorously talking about on the bench.
Lovely touch from Vardy. Perez bursts forward. He might have been fouled, but Jamie Vardy involved there beautifully as Hamza Chowdhury slides in. Typically robust challenge and a very successful one.
Yeah, and they're the challenges I'm on about. You have to win them because of Atalanta get past Hamza Chowdhury. That's a real counter-attack on its way. So fantastic challenge from Hamza.
Here's all Brighton. Jamie Vardy was hanging around and went to throw in successfully on that far side. Heard from Ben Chilwell in the build-up at how much he was looking forward to being back at the King Power. And here he is with a typical run forward. It's a free kick, and if this wasn't a pre-season friendly, it would probably be a yellow card.
Yeah, it's probably the first time we've seen Ben getting forward. He's been too busy at the other end of the pitch defending, and one of his trademark runs thwarted by the Atalanta defender. And as you say, in a league match or a cup game, you're probably looking at a yellow card.
Hatterborn it was. Did the classic defender finger wag as if he didn't do anything wrong. He got the benefit of the replay, and he certainly did. Opportunity here for Leicester, who have had to defend a lot in this opening 27 minutes. Maddison or Chilwell, two terrific options. Everybody back for Atalanta. And get this delivery right. It's Maddison, it's a great ball in, and Galini only as far as Tielemans. Well, Leicester's best moment for a good period, and that was half a chance.
Yeah, if anything, it's too good a ball because it beats Johnny Evans, the pace and the height of it. Fantastic ball in, but it's probably just too good. And as you say, the keeper gets a good hand to it. But a great delivery from Maddison.
Well played by Tielemans now. Vardy. He'll be looking to turn creative here, Jamie Vardy. As I said that, he skips past the player, threatened to shoot. Very good from Leicester's number 9 corner kick.
Yeah, that's better. Just see here, Malinowski dwells on the ball. This time Tielemans wins that first contact, sets Vardy on his way. That's a bit more like it.
Hero's reception for James Maddison as he walked over to take that corner. Another chance for him to whip in one of those trademark crosses as he goes short to get a better angle. Maddison towards Söyüncü. Maybe just too quick for everybody once more, but Leicester having a good spell, and the referee's given a corner hit.
Yeah, again, plenty of pace, great pace on the ball. Before I haven't seen anything, but the assistant referee on this side obviously thought there was a touch. Yeah. I've got to say, good defender from Guzons to get right round in front of Söyüncü there.
Two centre-backs discuss who's going to run where. As James Maddison goes short this time to mark all Brighton. And Tielemans digs out a ball, and it's a dangerous one. Golini claims comfortably. Given the fact that everyone knows how good James Maddison is at whipping in corners, maybe trying something inventive might not be the worst thing, because if you're playing against a side who doesn't have a great corner taker, break off, because here is Ilicic, and I think he's onside. Assistant was scrambling to keep up with the Slovenian. Atalanta to slow it down. Here is Freuler. Now Guzons, who's had a lot of the ball, as we've seen in this opening period. Passing move comes to nothing.
Yeah, just going back to your point, yeah, absolutely. It's always good to try and mix things up. That short free kick just didn't quite come off. Mark Albright was probably looking for a little bit more movement and didn't get it, and had to play that simple pass back to Madison and then to Tielemans, who you rightly said had to dig across, right? But you know, being inventive is something that Leicester City are very good at, and they have got the players to be creative and inventive from set pieces.
Chilwell under pressure. Wins a throw, and it's a really even game, this. Looked on paper like it was going to be as well. Brendan Rodgers on the edge of his technical area. It's the last 5 minutes. Leicester have really hit their stride. Now all Brighton on this near side. Vardy on the move to the near post. Not quite. Jamie Vardy gives the thumbs up though.
That's better from Vardy. Gets across the front. Great run. Ball from Tielemans to Albrighton. Great run from him. And there you go. That trademark run across the near post from Jamie Vardy. And you have to say again, fantastic defending from Atalanta. I think it was Jim City, was it? Yeah, Jim City with a last gasp header. But that's a lot better from Leicester.
Another corner. Another James Maddison corner. This time he goes into the middle, and Johnny Evans got his head to it. The chances are beginning to come now.
Yeah, it's a half chance. He's under pressure, Johnny. But again, I listen to anybody watching, any youngsters watching, how you put a ball into the box at pace. Don't try and do too much with it. Yes, you want to put it into a good area. You need a little bit of bend on it, but you don't have to, you know, do too much with the ball. It's all about the pace. And James Maddison at the minute, right on top of his game.
Here's Ilicic. It's a fantastic pass from Slovenia. Now Zapata's on the move in the middle. And you can probably hear from the ironic cheers that Hatterboard didn't get his cross right.
Slick move again though from Atalanta. Probably looking for the back post ball to Zapata, as you say.
Here's Chilwell. Kasper Schmeichel gave him an angle for a pass. He can't quite pick out Ricardo, but it was good from the Leicester captain.
He's just stepped in. Kasper, fantastic. Keeper stepping into the space and saying, yeah, I'm on.
Here is Ivan Zapata, though. Johnny Evans gets back. He's stuck to Zapata like glue, really, isn't he? I don't know if that was intentional.
Well, there's two ways of playing a big physical presence like that. And initially,
here is Perez. We'll get back to that in a moment because Jamie Vardy's on the move. All Brighton now making the run towards the near post. Vardy's going to try and pick out Tielemans, and it comes to nothing.
He's just slowed it down, hasn't he, Jim, at the vital moment? He was looking for the ball across to Albrighton. Didn't think it was on, and then he slowed it down, allowed Atalanta to get back on side. And as you've just seen, came to nothing. But let's go back to Johnny Evans. There's two ways of playing against a big physical threat. And the first one is you go and be physical with him and see how that pans out. If that doesn't work, then you have to go to plan B. But at the minute, you know, it seems to be going okay for Johnny in that physical battle with Zapata.
So Inchu, the other centre-back there, in the right place at the right time. Now Atalanta have a set piece. Opening 35 minutes nearly as it's flown by. It's being played at good intensity. Barak Jim City has made his way into the middle. Malinovsky is going to take this set piece. One of Atalanta's summer signings in preparation for the Champions League. Johnny Evans, who else was there to head away? Jose Perez was left up the pitch, and there was a big shout there. Don't know if it came across in the coverage, but Martin de Roon got a huge shout that Perez was sniffing around. Brighton, who's come across to this near side, he and Jose Perez have switched for the last 5-10 minutes. They're trying to curtail that man's forays forward. Evans once more gets the better of Zapata. Now Perez. That's up well with Chilwell, who sets off one of those marauding runs. Here's Tielemans. Nice move this from Leicester. Perez. Look for Vardy. Good defending by Hatterborn. But maybe Leicester's best move of this pre-season friendly so far.
Yeah, lovely interchange there between Ayoze Perez and Tielemans. That's a lovely little sliding pass into Perez's path there. And again, Jimmy Vardy across the near post. Probably Mark Albrighton's too close. He's right in the middle and probably should have just stayed out of it a little bit. And then maybe Perez could have got his head up and picked the pass to Mark Albrighton. But definitely a really sharp move there from Leicester.
Another chance for Maddison. Swings it in. Headed out as far as Chilwell. As Leicester left 2 players forward. Atalanta happy to have everybody back, and they'll have everybody back now because it's another set piece in Maddison territory. One of those who had a busy summer away with the England under-21 side. Made his first appearance at Cambridge. A deadly duo once more. Chat about who's going to take it. I think we probably know. That's Chilwell on this occasion. Evans. Good chance. And Johnny Evans heads over.
Well, it's a free header for Johnny Evans inside the box. Again, lovely ball in this time from Chilwell. Free header, you're expecting him to do better. And you've seen the reaction of Johnny. But when you're afforded that kind of room inside the box, you are really expecting to at least hit the target.
Given away, here's Vardy. Great opportunity for Jamie Vardy. And a brilliant save from Galini, otherwise it was 1-0. Vardy can't believe it.
I actually think the referees whistle had gone here for a foul, but take nothing away from Galini. Top class save. He comes out, narrows the angle down. Jamie Vardy does fantastically well. But watch the way the keeper comes down and shuts down the angle. Bang. Fantastic goalkeeping.
Wait and see what the referee gives here. James Maddison thinks it's a corner. The reason that it looked like it might have been a free kick before is because Perez picked the pocket of Frula and he went down. I think it was a legitimate chance because the corner's been given.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Frula's going to be okay to carry on. And credit to Perez. Doing that Jamie Vardy role of just getting a toe in and stealing possession high up the pitch. Another corner for Leicester. Another corner for James Maddison. Evans on the move. Again in the middle, Soyuncu is there. And the counter-attack might be on for Atalanta with Zapata. Malinowski. He can pick a pass and he's beautifully found Ilicic. Oh, the referee's given a free kick here. I'm not sure Chilwell did that much wrong. Who else? Johnny Evans, who must have sprinted 70 yards to clear that ball. But it will be a set piece in a really good position for Atalanta.
It's just, he knew it was going past him, didn't he, Chilwell? And he thought, well, if the ball's going past me, you're not.
The other end of the pitch. Atalanta won't want to see this. Galini, the goalkeeper. Just checking that his teammate's okay. It's Robin Gossens who... It was when Soyuncu went for the header from the corner and collided with him. And play went on. A couple of walking wounded now as we approach half-time. He too looks like he's going to be okay to carry on.
He's okay.
Now this is a chance. Josip Ilicic on his left foot. I'll be very interested. And a pretty even opening half now. Both sides have had spells of being on top. Four to aim for, 5 now. As Masiello tiptoes his way into the penalty area. He's the option at the far post. Milicic the favourite with his left foot. Malinovski's there for the right-footed option as well. Will be Ilicic, and it's straight at Kasper Schmeichel in the end. He immediately looks to get Jose Perez moving. It's an outrageously good pass. Perez couldn't quite bring it under control. That was magnificent from Kasper Schmeichel.
That was unbelievable pass from Kasper. We've seen him do that time and time again. And how unlucky is Jose Perez? Tried the cheeky little flick inside, almost came off. Fair play to Catania. He just stands his ground, keeps his eye on the ball, and is able to get it away.
At first I wasn't sure whether Perez had just slightly miscontrolled it, but he was trying that flick, wasn't he? To then be in on goal. Here he is again. Maddison sweeps out a pass to Ricardo. Doesn't have too much licence to get forward. Now Maddison can quite open up. Ricardo. Zapata was there ahead of Chowdhury and can bring the ball away for Atalanta. Pretty good centre-forward play. One of the linesmen on this near side's given a foul there.
Yeah, again, pretty harsh decision, you have to say. As soon as he gets touched, as soon as he feels a little bit of pressure, Gusanzi's going down, and makes it an easy decision for the assistant referee.
If you're a player, do you notice if a referee's giving them though, and then think, well, if I get one, I'll carry on doing that?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's so frustrating, when you think you've made a legitimate challenge, and then the ref or the assistant referee starts waving his flag. It's very, very frustrating.
Brendan Rodgers with a bird's eye view on the Leicester City bench. Here's Kasper Schmeichel. Final pre-season match. Wolverhampton Wanderers fast approaching. They've had a very busy period, by the way, Wolves. Went through in the Europa League, and that means ahead of their trip here, they're going to have a mammoth journey to Armenia next Thursday night. Just a few days before they come here in the Premier League. It's why the game's been pushed back to Thursday. Gian-Piero Gasperini can't believe that it's a Leicester throw. Now Tielemans. Here's Perez. James Maddison now takes over on this right-hand side. Might be no bad thing for Wolves from a Leicester point of view if they've had a huge trip and a difficult game in a difficult part of the world. And actually the next team Leicester play, Chelsea, will have been in the Super Cup in Istanbul just a few days before the match at Stamford Bridge.
You think both managers will take the strongest teams out, knowing the starts that they have?
It's a good question. It's Wolves' first foray into Europe since the 80s, isn't it? I think they want to do really well in the Europa League, but we saw with Burnley last season that can affect your league position, and you have to start qualification in late July. Here's Hamza Chowdhury. Opens up here. And Brighton not quite on the same wavelength as a teammate there.
Yeah, it just seemed a little bit forced that from Hamza. Fullback gets himself in a good position to cover that pass.
Last 15 seconds of normal time. A couple of injuries. Tielemans. And Leicester create one last opportunity before the break. It's a foul on Hamza Chowdhury, and there goes the half-time whistle. Right on cue. A really good workout this, and a very good test. Jamie Vardy, brilliantly denied by Pierluigi Gollini for Leicester's